But first, $25 million in grant money for flood control updates is awarded along the Cedar River in Cedar Rapids. It's for upgrades on the northwest side of the river near where that new casino is being built. The money will accelerate construction on a levee near the casino site, build a flood wall and gate at the Union Pacific Railroad, and raise F Avenue with a new roundabout at First Street. City leaders say this will be more cost efficient for the Cedar Rapids community too.
We have $45 million worth of work. We've been able to cut that cost in half to the local community. And then the casino is participating in some of the work adjacent to their site. So we're getting flood control for less than 50 cents on the dollar thanks to this grant.
The first phase of the project is starting this year with work on the levee included. Iowa's News Now reporter Faven Zodu talks to Mayor Tiffany O'Donnell about what the grant means for the city. We'll bring you that on Iowa's News Now at 6. It's an Eastern Iowa staple, still going strong after more than half a century. It's night one of Solon Beef Days down in Johnson County. Iowa's News Now anchor Mitch Fick is live there ahead of the centerpiece event of the weekend starting in just a couple hours. Mitch.
Yeah, they just, I think it was like the dinner bell or the siren. You know, sometimes in these old small towns, you get the siren that says, hey, it's done for the workday, it's the weekend. And with that, in the last 90 seconds, Solon Beef Days has started up again in 2025. Crowds have already been kind of filing in, though, and as you see in this arena we stand in, the hay bale toss, again, yeah, like you said, Nicole, 2 hours away. They're starting to set up the bars and get some things figured out. Of course, Hawkeye sophomore right guard Cade Pieper was your champion in 2024. We'd heard about him and his weight room prowess for the first couple years on campus, and then he showed out and threw one up 12 feet to win the competition last year. He'll be back going for back-to-back titles. Sounds like guys like Leighton Jones, who was in that Final Four last year, he'll be out there as well. Heard maybe Bryce George, Ferris State transfer and All-American, come out of the Division II level. Maybe he makes an appearance here. Lucas Allgaier, whose uncle was on Hayden Fry's offensive line back in the late 90s. He's a true freshman, early enrollee. Heard maybe he'll be here trying to announce his presence with authority. It's going to be a fun night, whether it's Hawkeye football players, local strongmen and women just coming out here and having a great time. And it looks like rain. It's cloudy, it's cool, but we're going to bring in weather first meteorologist Kason Frericks. We're not predicting rain tonight. It's overnight, morning hours as we get into like the fun run stuff. The farmers market back in Cedar Rapids, lots to keep an eye on here.
Certainly going to be a concern earlier tomorrow morning, and that's when we're mainly going to be looking at some heavy rain, showers, and thunderstorms. A little gloomy out here today, of course, and as we give you a look at the current readings here on radar and satellite, you can see that we've got kind of this blanket of clouds overhead right now. We're seeing that out here. But the good news is the temperatures are not too bad. Here's a check of our currents, which is 78 in Cedar Rapids, 79 in Iowa City, 76 in Dubuque currently, 75 in Owine and New Hampton, 73 up in Decorah. So not a whole lot to complain about there. It's not too hot. A little bit of humidity, but that is really it. Here's your forecast for tonight, though. The clouds will be sticking around. You can see those temperatures. They will slowly cool off through the 70s here, and by tomorrow morning we will be in the lower 70s. However, that's when we're going to see those scattered showers and storms. A lot of heavy rain is expected out of those, and most of the area will see that rain as well. We'll also be tracking out potentially a few stronger storms as well. We'll time that out for you here coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, guys. Iowa Attorney General Brenna Bird is now dropping the lawsuit against Winneshiek County Sheriff Dan Marx, saying the county is now fully in compliance with the state's sanctuary county law. The suit stemmed from this February Facebook post where Sheriff Marx said he would refuse to cooperate with ICE or the FBI if he believed their requests were unconstitutional. The state filed the lawsuit in March, citing an Iowa law that bars counties from discouraging immigration enforcement. Bird now says the county has committed to honoring ICE detainers and cooperating with federal authorities, bringing the matter to a close. Sheriff Marx released this statement within the past hour, saying the two recently met face-to-face. He said he never meant to discourage immigration enforcement. He says they have always complied with ICE detainers and will continue to comply with the law. Sweltering temps and high humidity are coming as thousands of cyclists get ready for a 406-mile bike ride across the state. Iowa's News Now anchor Lauren Evanetti is live in studio with how to stay safe during this kind of heat.
Nicole, RAGBRAI starts Sunday, bringing thousands of riders and even more welcoming them to the towns along the route. Even though this is an occasion that many look forward to, RAGBRAI officials want to remind you to be safe, especially with that heat and humidity. Throughout this week, the weather is supposed to be reaching highs in the 90s. And according to our Weather First team, the humidity will be higher than normal. Managers of the ride say that people often punch their ticket thinking that Iowa is flat when that is not the case. The course on top of the weather can lead to dehydration, and they want to make sure that you avoid that.
I'm proud to say that roughly about every 10 miles we'll have a town or a stop for them. So if they need to fill up, they can fill up there. Every town we pass through will have multiple water stops. So please do not leave a town without having your water bottles full.
RAGBRAI officials also want to remind you that this is a ride, not a race. If you want to keep up with the weather this week, make sure to have our Iowa's News Now WX app downloaded. Live in studio, Lauren Avenatti, Iowa's News Now.
Thanks, Lauren. Here's this year's RAGBRAI route, 406 miles total. The route kicks off in Orange City and makes a brief stint across the border to Minnesota. On Thursday, riders will roll into eastern Iowa, starting in Cedar Falls, Allwine, and ending in Guttenberg.